Welcome to the tournament tip-off. I'm Connor Ennis of the New York Times, here with Tom Jolly, sports editor of the New York Times. We're into the round of 16 of the N.C.A.A. tournament. It was an exciting first week with not as many upsets maybe as people liked, but there were certainly some great individual performances. Let's start with Ty Lawson, who people weren't even sure he was going to play with his injured toe, but he came up big for North Carolina.
Right. Last week we talked about rules of thumb. This week we should talk about toes, because Lawson's toe may well be the key to North Carolina's prospects in the tournament. He aggravated it against LSU, but he obviously was able to deal with it and played exceptionally well in the second half. But he's one key player. DeJuan Blair, whether he can stay out of foul trouble for Pittsburgh, he's another key. And then for the guys who you maybe don't notice so much during the regular season, but a guy like Sam Young of Pittsburgh, great slasher, can hit from the outside and carried Pittsburgh against Oklahoma State in the first half. Earl Clark of Louisville, who again has some of those same abilities to take over a game. We'll see Tyreek Evans of Memphis, another guy who maybe hasn't gotten a lot of attention nationally because Memphis hasn't played a national kind of schedule. We'll finally get to see them up against some top flight talent. Yeah. And then there's some others.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at a guy like Andy Routens from Syracuse, he's certainly not a star, but if he starts hitting from the outside, Syracuse becomes a very, very dangerous team. You could see that against Arizona State. They just separated themselves very quickly. And Levance Fields from Pittsburgh. Again, that's Fields, Young, and Blair are really the big three, but if Blair is in foul trouble, you see that Pitt is more than just them.
Right.
And that's big in the tournament. All the number 1 seeds are in the round of 16, all the number 2 seeds, all the number 3 seeds, but there's a lot of parity within that. It's kind of wide open right now.
Exactly. Well, all season long, people were saying 6 to 8 teams could win the national championship, and those 6 to 8 teams are still in the tournament.
Yeah.
And so I think we're set up for a very exciting final 2 weeks. The Big East is certainly well set up. That's the other thing. All season long, people talked about the Big East being the power conference. We've got 5 of the 16 final teams are from the Big East.
And for the commissioner, Mike Tranghese, it's a nice way to go out for him.
Absolutely.
Certainly. It'll be interesting to see what happens throughout this next weekend. We'll be here watching it. We hope you'll stop by at the Quad Blog throughout the weekend for news and notes, and throughout the rest of the tournament.
Check Twitter too.